There's a lot to be proud of here in our state. People pulling together, everybody's coming together. We're fighting the basic source, and we will continue to do so.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Tim Pham. Just yesterday, Washington Governor Jay Inslee spoke about the major wildfires burning across the inland Northwest right now. He issued a state of emergency for Spokane County as these fires continue to burn thousands of acres and destroy homes in its path. So far, hundreds of homes have been destroyed, and that number is sadly growing. So we're starting our wildfire coverage here at noon with a look at the Oregon Road Fire near Elk. Since it began on Friday, it has burned more than 10,000 acres. And this afternoon, that fire is now 10% contained. Level 3 evacuations remain in place for both Spokane and Pend Oreille counties. If you are in any of the areas shaded in red on this map, you need to leave immediately. We'll get that map for you here. The fire has killed at least one person and burned more than 80 buildings. The Red Cross has set up an evacuation site at Riverside High School in Chattaroy. If you have any large animals, the Pend Oreille County Sheriff's Office says you can take them to the Newport Rodeo grounds. Well, the Oregon Road Fire is still forcing level 3 evacuation and is 0% contained this afternoon. Our Nicole Hernandez has been there all day and got an update from crews. So Nicole, what did you learn from that press conference and what's the very latest? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim. So I actually have a map of the fire right here. Crews told us that overnight this fire really more actively was burning in the south end. It actually burned a few outbuildings overnight, but it did not burn any homes. Another thing, crews are working on the fire lines on the north side of the fire overnight and right now as they head into today. They still, though, are at that 0% containment because they say that there are still flames burning and unburned areas between those flames and those containment lines. So that's where they're at, working on those containment lines, but still calling the fire 0% contained. Now today, we're going to potentially get rain, but before that rain, we're going to get wind, and the winds will actually be shifting directions to become southerly. So that wind will start testing those lines at the north end. The wind will also, though, help clear out some of the smoke. So the fire team thinks they might be able to get more air support as visibility gets better today. A new national team is also coming in to take over the fire. They'll bring in even more crews to help get things under control. That means more firefighters and trucks will be coming in and out of evacuation zones, so people need to stay out. The sheriff's office has deputies patrolling the evacuation areas to stop any potential theft while people are away. And in the meantime, the Red Cross shelter is up and running here at Riverside High School. We talked to a few people who have been here for days.
I've talked to a lot of people. There's a lot of sense of community out here.
Pretty amazed at the amount of resources that are available for people. Anything you need is in there, and the food's great.
So the Red Cross says they've got an amazing amount of donations over the weekend. They actually had to get help from the local food pantry and LDS Church to help store everything. Now, another issue with this fire is power. Inland Power says they lost several power lines from this fire, ultimately leaving 400 people without power as of this morning. They do have crews working to try to restore that power at this point, but they say the combination of terrain and splitting their crews between this fire and the Gray Fire is making things difficult. In Chattaroy, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Nicole, thank you for that update. All right, let's talk weather now and air quality. Thomas, you've been following this very closely. All of us have been watching the rain from Hillary as it inches closer to the inland Northwest, but it seems like it's moving pretty slow.
Yeah, and this is a very slow crawl northward. I mean, all fingers crossed that we can get as much rain as possible because it's going to do two major things. One, it's going to help our air quality almost immediately as soon as it starts raining, and it should help firefighting efforts if we can get it in Spokane County, but I'll show you how close of a call that's going to be. But we're going to start with air quality alerts. They have been extended until noon tomorrow. We were expecting this. Many areas still reporting unhealthy or very unhealthy air quality, including here in Spokane, AQI of 183. I'll tell you this, though, I've been watching the air quality on the Palouse. It is in the good range for Pullman and Moscow. So looks like the relief is quickly on the way, and that's because the rain should be on the way. It is steadily but lightly raining over Lewiston, Moscow, Pullman, Pomeroy, and then up towards the Silver Valley as well. But this is the last hour. Look at the crawling northward motion. I think this is going to take a while before it gets to Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. I think my latest analysis here has the rain close by at around 4 o'clock this afternoon. So not going to arrive quite as early as we initially thought. But if we can get it between 4 and 8 o'clock, we'll take anything over nothing. But we'll show you how far west this rain could go, because it is not going to be quite everywhere across the inland Northwest.
Well, speaking of that, Spokane's air quality has been in the hazardous range for the past few days. At one point, we actually had the worst air quality in the world, but the rest of the state isn't looking too good either. Right now, there are at least 5 fires burning more than 1,000 acres, each in Washington and in North Idaho. The Oregon Road Fire is now the largest fire in the state of Washington, burning just about 10,000 acres. And because of our hazardous air quality conditions, the city of Spokane has opened up safe air centers for residents to escape the dangerous air. All Spokane Library locations are open for use, as well as the Trent Resource Center. The Trent shelter will be open 24 hours a day while the air quality index remains hazardous. The libraries will open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. today through Thursday. Also, the Spokane Transit Authority Plaza will be open from 6 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. today. STA is offering free rides to any of these centers.